So we are many, 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 many Sundays after Pentecost. Do you remember where we were last week? It was a double digit, and it's a multiple of 10. We were 20 last week, so this week we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whoa, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's where we're turning to this week. And the next one's white. And you might be wondering why it's white. Because it's not Christmas yet. It's not the mystery of Christmas. It's not the mystery of Easter. So next week, we can find out a little bit more about that. We're getting up towards the season of Advent. It's where we're moving. So, oh, I got this the wrong way. There we go. There was once someone who said such wonderful things and did such amazing things that people began to follow him. And as they followed him, they wondered who he was. And they just couldn't help themselves. They had to ask. And one of the times when they asked him, he said, "I am the light." Woo! Let's enjoy that light. But the light didn't stay in that one place and in that one time, because he changed the light so it can be in all places and in all times. So watch as I change the light. Oop. There it goes. It's filling up my space here. The light's filling up. It's going out through the camera and out to you, filling up the space where you are, so that wherever we are today in godly play, this light is with us. And when we leave this place, this light will go with us. So, ready for a story? This is another exciting story. And I've got a cloth to put underneath the story so we can get ready. Yes, I think we have everything we need. The people of God came out of the desert and into the promised land. When David was made king, he gathered the people together from the north and from the south. And then he and his army went to Jerusalem and took it from the Jebusite people and gave it to the people of God. The people of God began to live in Jerusalem, the city of David. But something was missing. The ark of the covenant with the 10 best ways inside was not with the people of God. So David took his army and went out and took the Ark of the Covenant from the Philistines and brought it back to Jerusalem. And as he came through the great gates of Jerusalem, David danced in front of the ark as it was brought into the city. They put the tent of meeting over the ark, and God was with them again. Now, David wasn't allowed to build a home for God, to build a house for God, for he had been a man of war. It was David's son, Solomon, who was chosen to build the temple. All the people of God worked together to build the temple. Some of the people went up north to Lebanon and cut down huge cedar trees and brought them back to Jerusalem. Others went out into the mountains and cut huge blocks of stone and brought them to Jerusalem. The temple was begun and started to grow. And the people were amazed. The great cedars of Lebanon had a wonderful scent, an aromatic scent that filled the whole building site. Olive wood was carved with beautiful decorations and covered with gold to adorn the temple. There was a huge hall of meeting where the people could gather to get close to God. And in the temple of meeting was the censer where incense was burned so that beautiful sweet clouds of smoke could fill the area of the temple. And there was the table with the 12 pieces of bread for the 12 tribes of Israel. And there was the 7 branched lampstand called the menorah with its lights brightly shining, all to help the people of God get ready to come close to God. And then there was an inner room, the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant would go. And the only people who could go in there would be the priests. And then only one day in the year, on the holiest of holidays, the Day of Atonement. At the front, they erected a great altar, huge, for sacrifices. And on the other side, a huge bronze bowl filled with water for washing, a laver or a lavabo. When the priests brought the Ark of the Covenant into the temple and put it into the Holy of Holies, the whole temple was filled with a blinding, dazzling light. God was in this place. The temple finally finished. And Solomon gathered all the people together. And he gave this prayer: O Lord, God of Israel, there is no God like you in heaven above or on earth beneath, keeping covenant and showing steadfast love to your servants who walk before you with all their hearts. But will God indeed dwell on earth? Behold, heaven and the highest heaven cannot contain you. How much less this house which I have built? Yet have regard to the prayer of your servant and to his supplication. Solomon also asked that God would let God's name abide in the temple, and that the temple would be a place where the people of God could come to pray and to get justice. Solomon ruled well and was wise. Some people said that he was the wisest person in the world. Solomon ruled for 40 years. His father David had been a man of songs and of war. Solomon had been a king of songs, of wisdom, and of building the temple. And when Solomon died, he was buried with David in Jerusalem. And Solomon's son became king. So I wonder, you can see inside now. So I wonder, what part of this story did you like best? I'm wondering, like this building part? Wondered if you like all the things to get ready. Wonder if you like the part of the people of God coming out of the desert into the promised land. I wonder which part you like best. Hope you can tell someone who's with you. Tell them why. I wonder what part of the story is the most important. It's about this building. It's about the temple. I wonder if you think part of that is the most important. Maybe it's the people that are in the story most important for you, or the things that are in the temple. I wonder why you think they're the most important. I wonder where you are in this story. What part of this is about you? Wonder if you'd been there at that time, how you would have been working with it as what part of the people of God and helping to build this temple. Wonder what parts you'd be doing. Would you be carving beautiful olive wood for decorations? Would you be bringing big, huge stones out of the mountains, or huge trees, cedar trees from Lebanon? Or maybe you'd be building. Maybe you'd be planning. Maybe you'd be embroidering the cloth. I wonder where you are. And I wonder if there's anything we can take away and still have all the story that we need. So I've already taken away the roof and the side of the building. How about that? Let's see, what if I took this out? The altar. Would we have all the story we needed? Or the huge brass bowl of water Laver. Can I take this away? I'm wondering what you're thinking and what you're saying as I'm doing this. Let me take the ark away. Anything else? I wonder. Well, you know, if you went to Jerusalem today, this temple is not there anymore. Even though it was built from such amazing materials, huge cedars from Lebanon and huge stones from the mountain, it's not there. Because sometime after the temple was built, the Babylonians came down and they attacked Jerusalem and they destroyed the city and the temple. And they took the people of God captive and took them back to Babylon as slaves. And the temple was totally destroyed. Now, after many years, some of the people were able to leave Babylon and return. And some started to rebuild the temple. So there was a second temple for a long time. But then another group of people came and attacked Jerusalem, and the temple, that temple was destroyed as well. So 2 temples built and destroyed. And by the time Jesus lived, Herod the king had built the 3rd temple in the same place in Jerusalem. But 70 years after Jesus was born, the Romans came and destroyed the temple. And today there are only a few pieces left for us so that we can imagine and see what was there. Of course, we have the Bible telling us what the temple looked like. But what I'm wondering is, if the temple's not in Jerusalem anymore, where are the 10 best ways? Where do they live now? I wonder. But now it's time for our blessing. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Thanks for joining us today. See you next week. Bye for now.